What is going on, guys? You got Tone here, coach of the Maine Red Clawitzers, and I am bringing you week 1 of season 2 of the NES, where we are taking on Tk-Duveraun and the Queensland Komalas. Funny thing to note here regarding my opponent, I do not know if she has any experience with Draft League format, but it just so happens that my week 1 opponent just so happens to be married to another person in the league with us, super nerd coach of the Seattle Wingles, who I played season 1 and semifinals, where I won with the Mega Gardevoir crit on the Florges. So yeah, I have to play his wife week 1, and it's kind of weird. At the same time, it's pretty cool to play someone with some sort of with a mind like hers. I mean, she's no slouch when it comes to battling, so I have to bring my A game so I don't get overwhelmed. I don't know, like I said, if she's played Draft League content. This could very well be her first Draft League match, so at the same time, I don't want to slack off and give my opponent any leeway or I get blown back. So as you see, my team is on the left and my opponent's team is on the right. So she has some very fast mons, some very threatening mons. Lucario, Landorus-T, Mimikyu can be a pain. M-Pidgeot especially can be a pain for my team, at least, because my flying resist is my Jirachi, which at the same time, Heat Wave is a thing, obviously, so I have to be wary of that. Another thing to note is the fact that her only way of getting up hazards at all with her team is with the Landorus-T, and the only way on her team to remove hazards is with her Avalugg. So if I could pressure the Landorus-T, make sure rocks are off my side of the field, and make sure I get up rocks on her side of the field, it makes my life a lot easier. Let's put it that way. But nevertheless, her team is definitely scary, but I feel as though I've prepared enough for at least everything on her team. Or so I hope. Hopefully I didn't leave anything out. So I quickly run down the team that I built for her. First Pokemon you see here, we have Ragweed, the Assault Vest Tangrowth, rockin' Giga Drain, HP Ice, EQ, and Sludge Bomb. Togekiss. Tangrowth is basically my response to Landorus-T, barring she's not bringing Fly EMZ with the Supersonic Sky Strike. Lucario, I can take a +2 anything, whether it be physical or special. And Earthquake 2 with KOs. Bruxish can be a pain because Strong Jaw Ice Fang does hurt, but it doesn't kill my Tangrowth, and Giga Drain does a lot to it. And this is basically my only response to Ludicolo too, because Ludicolo in the rain actually does a lot of damage to my team. And the investment here I have in special defense ensures that my Tangrowth is not to a KO at all by a modest max special attack Ludicolo Ice Beam, which explains my investment. The rest is just put into defense so I can take hits a little bit better from potential Landorus-T. Hopefully it's not Fly EMZ, I have to scout for that. And lets me deal with the Mimikyu. Sludge Bomb also hits the Mimikyu, the Rabombi, stuff like that. So that is my Tangrowth set that I am bringing. Next up on the team, we have Barong, our Assault Vest Entei. This was a Choice Band variant, but I changed it to Assault Vest so I can take on the Volcarona and the Ninetales a lot easier. Set is pretty straightforward. I'm going to be pretty much clicking Sacred Fire against her entire team because her fire resist is Flash Fire Ninetales, which I can then go for Stone Edge the following turn. And I don't think the last thing she wants to do is give me Sun Boosted Sacred Fires. That would be extremely a bad idea in her case. an Iron Heads here for the Mimikyu and the Ribombee. Force run Adamant because of extreme speed. I'm running enough speed to outspeed an Adamant max speed Mimikyu, and the rest of its of the stats are just put between its HP and the 4 defense, 4 special defense, max attack. So yeah, that is my Entei set. Moving on to Pokemon number 3, we have Old Major, our Piloswine, rocking the standard Stealth Rock, Ice Shard, Icicle Crash, EQ. 252 HP, 76 EVs in special defense ensures that my Piloswine is never 2-hit KO'd by Mega-Pidgeot's Hurricane from full. And the rest gets put into attack because Icicle Crash plus Ice Shard takes out Mega-Pidgeot no matter what. Unless she runs like a super bulky Mega-Pidgeot, then props to her. But yeah, this is my blanket check for the Mega-Pidgeot if need be. It also deals with the Landorus-T and prevents her Heliolisk from clicking Volt Switch. And it can also take a Surf from Heliolisk if need be and knock it out with an Earthquake. Barring she's not Shuckleberry. So, with that out of the way, Pokemon number 4, we are bringing our Jirachi, our specially defensive Jirachi with leftovers, Wish Protect, Toxic, and Iron Head. This is my response to the Mega-Pidgeot, as Heat Wave's a 3-hit KO. I can Wish on the first turn, then go for a Toxic. If I do get burned, that does suck. There's nothing I can do about that. Unfortunately, my Jirachi can't do anything to Lucario, but I do have other responses to Lucario. This is mainly going to be my way to deal with the Mega-Pidgeot, as Hurricane does not do that much damage, but the confusion chance can be a pain in the butt. So, running fully specially defensive because I can't really see myself bringing speed because her team is so fast. I can't really think of anything in particular to outspeed without compensating for a special bulk, which I need a lot for this, especially for Mega-Pidgeot. So, rocking fully specially defensive to deal with the Mega-Pidgeot. So, Pokemon number 5 here, we have Aquafina, our Manaphy, our setup sweeper with Tail Glow Surf, Shadow Ball, and Ancient Power, holding the Rocky MZ. For that Z Continental Crush. It's mainly for the Mega-Pidgeot, as Ancient Power after a Tail Glow boost does knock out the Volcarona, which is nice. I can use Rocky MZ against Volcarona if I do deem it problematic, but I really want to save it for the Mega-Pidgeot. Running a fully max special attack, max speed, so I can at least speed tie with stuff like the Ninetales, the Volcarona. I outspeed Mimikyu, force it to go for Shadow Sneak. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I didn't need to run Ice Beam simply because I'm bringing Ancient Power. Her way of dealing with Manaphy is Heliolisk, which I have Piloswine, I have Tangrowth, which is perfectly fine by me. So that is my Manaphy set, and last but not least, we are bringing Grace, the Babiri Berry Togekiss with Roost, Defog, Air Slash, and Thunder Wave. So this is basically here to blanket check. It's a backup blanket check, so to speak, to Landorus-T. Stone Edge is a thing, I know. Lucario, I have Babiri Berry so it can live like an Iron Tail or Flash Cannon, take it pretty easily. And it's also my way of checking the Ribombee, as it quad resists Bug Buzz, Moonblast. It's not really that much of a deal. The only sad thing about Ribombee is actually the one Pokemon on our team that I can't really wear down because of Shield Dust, as Shield Dust blocks the secondary effects of attacks it gets hit by, so it will never get flinched. So, lucky her. And Thunder Wave is just for speed control, as I'm not running any Choice Scarf Mons. I can paralyze the Lucario, even though she has E-Speed. I can paralyze Bruxish, force the Aqua Jet. I can paralyze a Mega-Pidgeot, Volcarona, stuff like that. So, I'm running max speed so I can at least speed tie with an Adamant max speed Bruxish. 244 HP, hit an odd number in HP, so I take less damage from Stealth Rock, and the rest is put into the special attack to boost the power of Air Slash. So that is a team I am bringing versus the Queensland Komalas. Hopefully we can start the season off 1-0. So I'm just going to jump right over to the battle, and we'll be right back. Alright, so here we are with my Week 1 match of the NES against Tk-Duveraun and her Queensland Komalas. So she ends up bringing a team of Landorus-T, Heliolisk, Volcarona, Lucario, Bruxish, and the Avalugg. Main thing to note, she did not bring her M-Pidgeot, so my Spinef Jirachi is going to be a little less useful, but do have to be worried if her Lucario is special, and it can still reliably check the Heliolisk pretty decently. So in this matchup, I decided to lead off with my Tangrowth here. It's a matchup well against everything except for the Volcarona. It was pretty much the one thing I wasn't expecting her to lead with, hopefully. So as I'm going to play the replay here. So I'm going to lead off with my Tangrowth. She does lead with Volcarona. I'm like, ah, crap, I gotta go through. But luckily for me, I have my switch in, which is my Assault Vest Entei. So she's going to go for the Quiver Dance here. Like, that's totally fine by me. I'm just going to go for a Stone Edge. She goes for Fiery Dance. It's not going to do much because I'm Assault Vest. I'm going to go for my Stone Edge, and I miss. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I know I can take another hit from this Volcarona. She goes for Fiery Dance again. Does a little bit more damage. She gets a special attack raise. I hit my Stone Edge, and reveal she's Focus Sash. But luckily for me, I'm not banded. Go for the E-Speed, take out the Volcarona. So, we're already up 6-5. In comes her Bruxish. I'm going to go into my Manaphy. She goes for Psychic Fangs here. Like a clean 3-hit KO. I'm just going to go for a Shadow Ball here. Get off some good damage against it. Show for Psychic Fangs one more time. So I'm just going to click Shadow Ball again in case she stays in. But she makes a smart play and goes on to its Heliolisk, which is immune to Shadow Ball. But I have my response to Heliolisk. But before I go into my Piloswine, I'm going to go directly into my Tangrowth as she goes for Dark Pulse, which does nothing. Now here I went to HP Ice, but I didn't. Because I figured she would stay in. I don't know why, but nevertheless, I'm going to switch out here and go out into my Piloswine here. As she's going to go for the knockoff. So my Eviolite is now gone. So she's not going to switch out, go into her Avalugg here on the Icicle Crash, which makes the most sense, and that did nothing. So it pretty much revealed she was fully physically defensive here as I give it my Stealth Rock here. She goes for Toxic. I could have went to Jirachi here, but I didn't know if her Avalugg had Earthquake, so I decided to hold back a bit. So I go out hard into my Entei just to see what she's going to do here. She goes for the Avalanche. Since I didn't attack her, it's not going to do much. I'm going to go for the Sacred Fire here, and it's going to be a 2-hit KO. I don't know if that was a low roll or what, but it was a fully physically defensive Avalugg as she Rapid Spins away the Stealth Rocks. I'm going to go for Sacred Fire one more time. Do miss out on the knockout, but I do get the burn on the Avalugg here as she's just going to go for a Recover. So now I'm realizing that this Avalugg is hard walling my Entei, so I'm going to switch out and I'm going to go into my Jirachi. She's going to Recover again. Now I've seen her entire moveset. She does not have Earthquake for my Jirachi, so she can't really touch it. In comes the into the Landorus-T. I'm just going to go for a Wish this turn, and then I'm going to switch out and go into my, I went to my Tangrowth here. Actually, I'm going to go getting her own rocks up, which I don't really mind, because the only men that are really affected by it are the Entei and the Togekiss. Entei has already served its purpose here, but she's going to stay in and go for Stone Edge here. Revealing she's Life 4, I'm just going to go for an Earthquake, and I take out the Lucario. So, we're already up 6-4 here, and she goes back into Orlando. I'm going to go hard into my Entei and sack it off because it didn't really serve any other purpose other than taking out the Volcarona, so she knocks off and gets knocked out my Assault Vest. Down goes the Entei. Does give me a switch into my Manaphy here, and I'm going to make a double switch into my Piloswine here, trying to get her to go into Heliolisk, which she does end up doing. So I was essentially sacking this thing off. I could have went for Ice Shard for damage, but I also wanted to scout and see if she did have Surf or Grass Knot. She showed Surf, but it does allow me to go into my Jirachi here. She's going to switch back into Orlando. I'm just going to go for Wish one more time. I believe I go into my Tangrowth again, because Tangrowth does hard wall this, or so I thought. And then she reveals U-turn. I'm like, oh crap. So she U-turns back into Avalugg. I do get the wish off, but that damage reveals she was banded. I don't know if it was intentional or what, but I'm just going to switch out here. I'm going to go into my Jirachi because can't really do much to it. Can't Toxic a Steel type. So I believe I went for Wish again, just to scout. I could have went for Protect, but seeing as though her main response was the Landorus-T, so every time she goes into Landorus-T, I go into my Tangrowth. And she's going to go for a knock off my Assault Vest, which is perfectly fine. I get the wish back. I believe this turn I went for HP Ice or Giga Drain. Yeah, I went for Giga Drain as she went to Avalugg. But since she was so invested in physical defense, her special defense was easier to exploit. And it's a clean 3-hit KO with the Giga Drain. Burnt Avalanche does absolutely nothing to my Tangrowth. And I'm just going to finish off this Avalugg with an HP Ice in case she decided to switch back into Lando for whatever reason. She goes into Bruxish. I'm just going to go into my Manaphy and sack that thing off as she goes for an Ice Fang, and it doesn't kill me. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So since I had nothing to lose here with my Manaphy, I just decided to reveal my Z Continental Crush, which was for the Mega Pidgeot, but she didn't bring it. So down goes the Bruxish. It could be a case of overkill on my side, but I didn't really care. Since I'm going to sack off my Manaphy to the Dark Pulse from the Heliolisk, I'm just going to go back into my Tangrowth here, and I believe I clicked Earthquake. I went for Giga Drain, because I predicted that she would switch out again into the Landorus-T. But she thinks she just decided to sack this thing off, and now I went for Earthquake thinking she was going to stay in again. And I'm like, oh crap, she's still reading me. So now what I decided to do is I try to sack off my Togekiss here, because Togekiss does absolutely nothing for me in this battle. As she's going to U-turn, make the smart play, U-turn into her Heliolisk, and I'm going to sack off my Togekiss to the Thunderbolt. I could have switched Jirachi, but didn't really see the merit, especially if I got T-Ball parried. That would have sucked. So I go back into my Tangrowth here. She goes for Thunderbolt again, which probably revealed she was like Scarf. I don't know. But I'm just going to keep on clicking Giga Drain this time around, as she's just going to sack off her Heliolisk to the HP Ice. Yeah, because I was really debating whether she was going to switch again. So now she goes into her Landorus-T. I'm going to switch out into my Jirachi, and she's going to go for the U-turn. So now here I go, and here I go for Protect just to see if she was going to go for the Earthquake. And no, she does keep on going clicking U-turn. So it reveals that she was choice banded. So I just go for the Toxic here. So all I had to do was just stall out the U-turn, the Protect. Just Protect and Toxic stall her out. As even if she take on my Jirachi, which I spoiler alert stupidly let her do, as I go for the Protect, I failed. Now I went for Protect there because I felt that U-turn would have took out my Jirachi. I could have went for Wish, but I didn't. I get the Protect off though. She goes for U-turn, takes more Toxic damage. I go for Protect one more time, and I get the double Protect this time around as she goes for the U-turn. So yeah, I'm going to end up winning this 1-0, though technically speaking I should have won this 2-0, but I miscalculated the U-turn and how bulky my Jirachi really was. But Landorus-T is going to drop to the Toxic, and I'm going to end up winning 1-0 over the Queensland Komalas. So it was a very good game. Even though I did squander 1 point differential, it should have been a 2-0. It really should have been, but I felt as though Landorus-T's U-turn would have taken out my Jirachi, especially considering it was banded. But what is what it is. I felt as though I played the endgame a little too safe, but that's just me. But anyway, good game to Tk-Duveraun and her Queensland Komalas. We start the season with a win. Not really much else to say about this, other than the fact that I probably over-prepped for a lot of things, but at the same time, I didn't want to take no chances. So that's just me being too cautious. Anyway, if you guys did enjoy this battle, feel free to leave a like, leave a comment, and all that stuff. I will link you to my opponent's channel in the description down below. Week 2, we do play off against The Swindon Fletchlings, coached by Crazy Razy, a very strong opponent and a divisional matchup, so you play him twice. Hope you guys are looking forward to that. And until the next time, my name is Anthony, aka Tone, and I'm gonna catch you guys on the flip side. Later.